Hi, hello everyone, welcome to the channel. So in this video, I'm gonna show you how to create a tools in finding a south facing slope using a model builder in ArcGIS. So now let's get started. So in this video, we're going to dive into a model builder by building our own model. So now I'm going to show you how to create a brand new models and then how to add tools to it and link them together and make your own geoprocessing tool out of it. So we're gonna create a tool in finding a south facing slope using a model builder. So now I will state the scenario. Let's say that you regularly need to take a new area of interest and find all the south facing slope for it, and you have the digital elevation model. So you can able to view in our table of contents section, we have a digital elevation model, that is the dim data. So you really need to find all the south facing slope that you could find it, or it's that you can use it for vegetation analysis or the solar influx. So what we need to do is to run our aspect tool on the digital elevation model, and then we can use the raster calculator to find all the cells in the aspect raster that faced towards the south. The raster calculator step through can be a little error prone, and so we might want to make a model for it so that we can save time of running the two steps and that we can have a consistent result. So to start with, let's create a new toolbox that we can put our tool in. So for that, we're going to navigate to this option here called catalog. So you can able to visualize here, there is an option called catalog here. We're going to click this, and now a new window pops up saying catalog. In that we're going to click this option called the connect to folders. So once you did that, you can choose your drive where you could like to save your tool. So let me select my drive in E, and I'm gonna click OK. So now here you can able to visualize the E drive here. I'm gonna navigate to my folder location. So here in the folder location, I'm gonna create a new folder. So you're gonna enter as tools. So once you created your folder, now here we're gonna right click and we're gonna create this navigate to this option called new, and in that we're gonna click this option called toolbox. Let me click that. So now let me enter the name for this particular tool here. So let me enter as a dim tool. So now here I can able to see that I have entered the name as dim tools.dbx, which represents our toolbox extension file. So once you created your tool here, and now I don't have to add it to Arc Toolbox, but I tend to like to. So now to add this tool into our Arc Toolbox, we're gonna navigate to our Arc Toolbox section. So let me navigate to this option here in the Arc Toolbox. So in Arc Toolbox, we're gonna navigate this top of this section here, Arc Toolbox. In that, we're gonna right click and we're gonna click this option called Add Toolbox. So now I'm gonna click this option called Add Toolbox. And now navigate to your folder location, so where you have saved your tool. So I'm going to navigate to my folder location. So this is my tool. I'm going to click this. So once you have selected your tool, and we're going to click this option called open. So now we're going to visualize the tool going to add in our Arc Toolbox section here. So now here you can able to visualize that dim tool has been added into our Arc Toolbox. So it's our new toolbox with nothing in it. So now to create a new model or a geoprocessing tool, so all you have to do is we're going to right click on it, and so we're going to navigate to this option called new. In that, we're going to select this particular option called model. So here you can able to see a window pop up saying model, and this is the model builder environment. So let me expand this. So this is a model builder environment. Now we're gonna close this and let me rename our model name. So I'm gonna right click and we're gonna navigate to this option called rename. So now let me enter the name of this particular model. So I'm gonna enter the name as find south facing slopes. So now I have entered as find south facing slopes, and I'm gonna click enter. So now we have renamed our model name. So now when I double click, it brings up the geoprocessing tool version of it. Let me show you that. So you can able to see that this is a geoprocessing tool version. And currently this tool has a no parameter. It says like the tool has no parameter. So let me close this. So now we're gonna right click on this tool model, and we're gonna click this option called edit. So again we are in our model builder environment, and now we can able to visualize the window saying south facing slope. So that is the name of this tool. So the first thing is first let's spin our geoprocessing tool out. So the easiest way to get our new tools onto our model builder environment is just to drag and drop them. We're gonna just drag the tools and drop into our model builder environment. So we're gonna drag the first tool. For that, we're gonna navigate to our spatial analysis tool section here. So let me navigate to the spatial analysis tool. In that, we're gonna navigate to this option called surface, and let me drag the tool. So now we're gonna drag this particular tool called aspect. Let me drag and paste it here. It's simple as that. We're gonna click the tool and we're gonna drag into and paste it. We're gonna leave it our tool in our model builder. Let me delete this one. So here we can able to see that there is a two different, one represents a rectangle like shape and another is our ellipsoid like shape here. So the first here which represents our tool, that is the tools which going to run aspect, and the output raster is the raster from the aspect. The output raster from the aspect will be saved in this particular ellipsoidal shaped output raster here. So once you insert your dem into this, it get processed in this section, and the output raster layer, it gets saved in this part of the output raster of this option here. And the next thing is I know I want us to going to run the aspect tool using the whatever input I provide, and then put it in the output. So I need to get an input for it if I'm going to make this a geoprocessing tool. So to provide input, we're gonna right click on our aspect tool here, and we're gonna click this option called make variable from parameter input raster. So once you did that, you can able to see here we have a new option called input raster. So let me double click this particular one, input raster. So now I can see that what is generally the input raster for aspect, which is our dem, and it's built in to the input raster because that's a variable on the model environment with the name that I can use. So let me close this. So and I will do is I will rename this one by right clicking, and we're gonna navigate to this option called rename. So now let me enter the name as input dem. So I'm gonna enter as input dem, and I'm gonna click OK. So we have renamed this particular for this particular input raster. So now I have renamed it. We're gonna double click, and now in the input dem we're gonna insert our dem data here. So let me click this particular option called dem data. So this is our dem data. So when I click OK, so once you have inserted your dem data, the model will be ready to run. So you can change the color of this particular model. So you're gonna change you can able to see the color of this particular model is gonna change. So now you can able to see that. So you can also rename this particular output raster name here. So I'm gonna right click, and we're gonna rename as aspect raster. So let me rename this. So now I have entered as an aspect raster, and we're gonna click OK. So now you can able to see the name has been changed. So as I said, we know that after we get the aspect raster, we need to process it to find the south facing slopes. So for that, we're gonna use our raster calculator tool. So we're gonna navigate to this option here. So we're gonna navigate to this option called map algebra. So we're gonna click this, and in that you can able to visualize the raster calculator tool. So we're gonna click and drag into our model builder environment. So now we can able to visualize our raster calculator tool here. And here are some of the power of the model builder. Let me show you that. So here you can able to visualize a tool called connect. So I can just click this tool here, And this tool is called as a connector tool. So using this tool, I can click on the aspect raster here, and holding my mouse down and dragging, I can release it on raster calculator here, and make it as an input, and I will put map algebra expressions. So I'm gonna select this option here for now, and it won't be complete. In fact, it's not letting me to do it because it has an incomplete map algebra expression. So a lot of times we can connect the tools that way, but this time we can't. So what we're going to do is we're going to double click on our raster calculator, and now we're going to make our own expression right now. So now let me double click the aspect raster here, and you can able to see there's a slightly you can see from here I get a slightly different format here. So you can able to see here we have a different format here because it's reusing the layer within the model. So it is the icon for reusing the model, and here it surrounds the percentage and quotes. And what I really want is all of the cells that are between some values and other values, where those the values are south facing slopes, but I can't remember what those values are. So let's take a look quickly, and now let's check out how the aspect raster works. So here you can able to visualize this diagram saying basically what the degrees are on which are on the compass rule. So if I want between 135 degrees to 225 degrees, so to consider itself. So our objective was is to identify the south facing slope. So in the degree between that is 135 degrees to 225 degree, which represents our aspect direction towards south facing slopes. So here 0 indicates the north direction, and 180 degree indicates the south direction, and 90 indicates the east direction, and the 270 indicates the west direction. So you can also take this, you can able to visualize the diagram here. So each of the directions are indicated in the set of different colors here. For example, the north here are indicated in red, and the northeastern part of the areas are indicated in orange, and similarly the northwestern part are indicated in the pink. So that's how we can interpret the aspect raster. So now let me get back to my arc map. So to identify all the south facing directions, let's say the greater than 135 degree, and so now let me enter the expression here. So I'm gonna enter our aspect raster here. We're gonna add our greater than symbol. So let me double click this, and now I'm gonna add the value of 135 degrees, and let me add this particular operator, that is a AND operator. We're gonna click this, and now we're gonna double click our aspect raster, and we're gonna mention less than 225 degrees. So we're gonna use this less than symbol, and we're gonna mention 225 degrees. So now let's check if that it's working, and I will leave the output as its default right now, and we're gonna click OK. And now I can able to see that it makes a connection for me right now. So the aspect output raster is got connected to our raster calculator, and it knows that we used it in the raster calculator, and so the output of the aspect raster goes as an input for the raster calculator. And now let's right click, and we're gonna rename this. So we're gonna rename as south facing slopes, and now we have a relatively complete model. We're gonna click OK. So the model is ready to run. So you can able to see that the color of this particular model indicates it is ready to run. So if the absence of the color, it indicates the model is not ready to run. So it's currently the model is ready to run. So basically, if we, for example, if there is no color in your model, which indicated that might be you are not provided your input data. So for example, in the input dem, so I have provided my dem data here. For example, let me remove the dem data here. I'm gonna remove this data, and I'm gonna click OK. So now I can able to see that the color is completely absent now. So let me provide the dem data again here. Gonna select my dem data, and we're gonna click OK. So now the model is ready to run. So once we have provided our dem data, now it may not know where to put our aspect raster. So for that, we're gonna right click, and we're gonna click this option called managed. because I don't want really care where that is it's going to put our data. So I'm really looking for this output here, that is our south facing slope. And now finally we're going to test it out in our model builder environment here by providing our we have provided our digital elevation data. So now let's try running this tool here. So we're going to navigate this option called run. So let me click this option called run. So now we have run our aspect raster. So here we have our error codes. I didn't write the correct raster calculate the expression here. So we have our error in raster calculator tool here. So it looks like I didn't use the correct syntax. So let's take a look at that. But what's great is I don't have to rerun the rest of this. When I make changes to the raster calculator, the stuff stays ready to run. So let me close this. So when I want to run it again, it just run with the raster calculator. So now let me navigate to our raster calculator here. I'm gonna double click, it's gonna open the tool. Let me show you once again here. I'm gonna double click this tool, it's gonna open. And now so, and I think what I need to do is to group these because it might be trying to use the 135 and over aspect raster. Let me group this. So now let me add this. I'm gonna group this particular one here. And now we have grouped our aspect raster and 135 and this particular statement aspect raster lesser than 225 degrees. So now we're gonna click OK. So now let's click run the tool again. We're gonna click this option called run. So it's better symbol than the last time. So we have completed our analysis in finding the south facing slopes. So it's done and now once again I don't have to anything in the arc map here. So let me show you that. We have run of analysis, but I can't see any results here. So now to view the results, what you have to do is let me minimize it. So we're going to right click on this particular south facing slopes and we're going to click this option called add to display. And now we have our result here, the south facing slopes. So it shows me right here on my map here. So you can also take a look at the aspect raster. So for that, to view in our map section, so we're going to right click on the aspect raster here and we're going to click this option called add to display. And now you can able to visualize our aspect raster here. You can able to see that. So now let's save this and we're gonna remove the specification here. So we're gonna let me click this. So let's make this model empty. So let me select this and we're gonna remove and we're gonna click OK. So what if I want to be able to run this repeatedly without entering my model just as a normal geoprocessing tool. And now you can able to, based on the color, it's not ready to run again. So I'm gonna right click on this input dem here and I'm gonna click this option called model parameter. So that allows me to provide it like a geoprocessing tool dialog, and I will show you that in a moment. So now to save this, we're gonna click this option called save. So it's gonna save our model in our default folder location. So where we have created our tool. So last, let me show you one more option here. So we're gonna click this option called auto layout. So it's gonna align all the tools orderly manner. So we're gonna click this. And we can see the two lines now between the aspect raster and the raster calculator, because the aspect raster goes into the raster calculator twice, because we are comparing the aspect raster that is lesser than greater than 135 degrees and lesser than to 225 degrees. For that it goes two times. And okay, so now let's go and take a look at what the model parameter setting does. That it basically puts a little p symbol over the p alphabet over this variable. So now let me save this and we can close this now. So now here we're gonna navigate to the our tool we have created, that is finding south facing slope here. So initially it says no, it said no parameter and couldn't take any inputs. So now let me double click this particular tool here. So now we can able to see it says I input dem, and now when we want to find the south facing slopes, we can, as a geoprocessing tool here, it's we just provide our dem data. So now let me remove this south facing slopes, and so we're gonna run this tool again, and also let me remove this aspect raster here. So now we're gonna insert my dem data. So this is my dem data here. I'm gonna select dem data. So now we're gonna click OK. So it's gonna find all the south facing slopes here. So its model is currently running, and now it is running raster calculator. So it has completed, and now this tool is kind of ready to be used as like a geoprocessing tool. So even we have run our tool here, we didn't receive our data here. So it looks like I still made another common mistake here. So let me close this. So you can able to see that nothing showed up right. So now let me navigate to this option here, that finding south facing slopes here, and we're going to click edit. So it's because the model builder does not necessarily think that I care a whole lot about this data, because it's not a model parameter, and I did not specify where it goes. So now let me click the south facing slopes. I'm gonna right click and I'm gonna click this option called model parameter, and now I'm gonna save this. And now our model has two parameters, two model parameters. One is input dem, and this is our south facing slopes. So let me close this, and let me double click my finding the south facing slopes. And now let me insert my dem data here. And now I'm going to tell it where to put this output here. So for that, we're going to click this option called, we're going to save to the folder location. So now I have entered as south facing slope. I'm going to click save, and we're going to click OK. And make sure that you enter a .diff. And now we're going to click OK. So it's executing our aspect tool. And now it's executing our raster calculator. So the model has run here. So you can now be able to visualize the result, south facing slope. So let me close this, and it runs now that I had a model parameter. It behaves like a normal geoprocessing tool and puts any output that aren't made by the model parameters in the model back in my ArcMap session, ArcMap windows here, just like it does with other geoprocessing tools. So in this video I have shown you how to create a tool in finding a south facing slope using a model builder in ArcGIS, and we have created a custom toolbox in ArcMap using this particular option called model builder, and we have found all the south facing slope in this particular study area. So thanks for watching, and please subscribe to our channel and give us a like.